Pol Pot, one of Cambodia's most dangerous leaders, who led the communist Khmer Rouge government in Cambodia from 1975 to 1979. It was estimated that around 2 million Cambodians died out of starvation, executions, disease, and overwork. Cambodians who revolted against the Khmer Rouge were all taken into this horrific detention center called S-21. S-21 was once a school before the Khmer Rouge took charge, and it was later turned into a detention center where thousands of people were detained and tortured brutally. People of suspicions were all taken to the detention center, and they were forced to confess for the crimes that they have not committed. S-21 was so notorious that only 7 out of the roughly 20,000 people who were imprisoned in S-21s are known to have survived. Okay guys, so today we'll be exploring one of Cambodia's most tragic history. So we'll be going to one of the museums where we'll get to know about the tragic event that took place in Cambodia. But first we have to catch our tuk-tuk to go all the way to that place. Check out my tuk-tuk, guys. Hello, Grab. Yeah. Yep. Yes. Thank you. The tuk-tuk is just like any other auto rickshaw ride that you can take if ever you're in India. It's almost the same look and feel. Okay guys, so we have made it to the Tual. Okay, I don't know how to pronounce it, but this is Tual Slang Genocide Museum. So this is where it all happened actually. It's because, okay, anyways, I will explain to you more inside. So this is called the Tual Slang Genocide Museum. Let's go and check in and see what's it like inside. Scan barcode. Yeah.
And what language?
English actually.
Here's the map audio.
Okay, thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. Oh wow.
Number 1 to start and follow the map.
Okay, number 1, right? Okay. Okay, so we got inside this museum and now we've been given this audio set because we have taken for an audio guide. So we just had to pay $10 for for an entrance over here and with an audio guide. So they have given us the speaker over here, as you can see, and they have also given this device down below. So if ever I had to press 1, then I will get audio language in English language. So there are many other languages you can actually opt for, but now we chose for English. So now all I have to do is just to press that number 1 and I will be given that audio guide. But check out this place, guys. I mean, it is quite tragic. I mean, I did read about some of the past history of what has happened over here. There was a time when, the Great Crisis actually did take place in Cambodia. So there were a group of people called the Cambodian Rouge. Okay, so they were heavily supported by the communists. And they were able to successfully take over many places, many parts of Cambodia. So not many people were very happy with the idea of Cambodian Rouge, intervening and invading the certain places in Cambodia. So that's why they all revolted against them. And because of that revolting, they were all captured by this Cambodian Rouge, and they were severely tortured and punished over here. And this is the place where most of the people actually died. They all died all over here. So this is the Genocide Museum where they are going to really tell us more about what really happened during that time. So in each and every place or in every spot that you go into, you will always get to hear an audio guide. Each of these places is labeled with 1 and 2, so if ever you go to these any labeled spots, then you will get to hear different stories about what really happened over here. So you can get to see that over here, you can get to see many people were buried over here. They all died and they were all buried here in these coffins. Some of the people who lived during the 1970s to 1973s, they really did live, or they really did go into a very terrible and distressing time. I mean, like, that was the time when some of these people were kidnapped or imprisoned for no reason, and they were all taken into this building over here and they were brutally tortured, and some of them even lost their lives. Some people, even including the person who is giving me this audio guide, has also lost his relatives and his siblings. Some of these prisoners were all brought inside to this premises in a truck, and they were all taken to these buildings over here. And right next to this building, you can get to see the normal streets, but they were all fenced with this barbed wire so that it actually prevents the prisoners and the outside people from entering this premises. Some people were taken into this building for months and years altogether, and some of them were even tortured at least maybe 2 or 3 times in a day. So we are going to be going inside the building and we're going to check out what really happened inside. So this is the iron bed that goes to sleep on, and this was the metal that they used for torturing them. You can get to see some of the blood stains also on top. Whatever it is, lives were lost. People were hurt, people were harmed and injured. Some of them were even mutilated. That's something which is quite distressing and quite horrific. Okay, let's make it to the 3rd floor and let's see what's there on the 3rd floor. So this is the last floor of building A. So these were the typical shirts which were worn during the period of the Khmer Rouge. And everyone, mostly they wore all black or dark clothing just to protect themselves from the sun. Actually, these were all, re-stitched because some of them were torn, so they had to stitch it back. This was the short pants which were worn by the men. The Rouge were really, really brutal. I mean, they did not spare anyone who actually revolted against them. I mean, it was sad to see that most of these places had to fall under the control of the Khmer Rouge. They were one of the strong and dominant force at that time, and they were heavily supported by the communists. They managed to take over Phnom Penh, which was the last city that they took. That's why it's called the fall of Phnom Penh. Estimated like around 18,000 to 19,000 people died, and only very few people survived, and these were the survivors. And the last one here, this man, probably, he went missing. He was also a guard, but eventually became a prisoner. But sources says that he went missing and he was never to be found again. These were all the prisoners that were taken here. It's sad to see that these were the prisoners who were taken, but most of them are not to be seen anymore.
David from Australia was sent to the killing field. George Lohan from England and Gary Hamill from New Zealand. Here,
these were some of the cells that the prisoners were kept inside. At least 2 to 3 people can be pushed inside these cells and made to stay here. These cells were all made of bricks. These people were so brutally tortured that they were not able to withstand those tortures and they wanted to commit suicide. So right behind me, you can get to see these barbed wires, which was made so that these prisoners will not attempt to commit suicide, because one of the prisoners, they jumped out from one of the topmost building, the topmost floor. Oh, jumped from one of the topmost floor and committed suicide over here. The Khmer Rouge wanted to socially engineer a classless communist society by targeting and imprisoning intellectuals, city residents, ethnic Vietnamese, civil servants, and religious leaders. Border fighting took place around 1976 between Cambodia and Vietnam, and it intensified in 1977. Until December 1978, the Vietnamese sent more than 60,000 troops to capture Phnom Penh and force Pol Pot to flee back into the jungle. Some historians regard Pol Pot regime as one of the most barbaric and murderous in recent history. Till date, this horrific incident that took place in S-21 remains one of Cambodia's darkest history. Hey guys, thank you so much for watching my Cambodian vlog. Unfortunately, this marks the end of my Cambodian video, but nevertheless, I thoroughly enjoyed my experience visiting the beautiful country of Cambodia. It was just like, as I mentioned before, that it was an unplanned trip, but nevertheless I thoroughly enjoyed each and every moment of it, right from visiting the Independence Monument, visiting the corporate city hall, and learning about the sad history that took place during the Khmer Rouge. During my stay in Cambodia, I definitely got an opportunity to learn more about the Cambodian culture, the Cambodian values, Cambodian histories. And I've also got a chance to interact with most of the sweet Cambodian peoples also. So I also would like to thank all of you for watching my video. So I just would like to say Akun, and also I would like to say Somtot, in case if I said something that would have hurt your feelings, or if I said something wrong which may not be aligned with the Cambodian history also. But nevertheless, this is the end of the Cambodian video, and I just would like to let all of you know that I'll be coming up with many more videos showing you different places, new countries, and new adventures. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.